Welcome back, everybody. A new book provides a creative twist to the phrase dinner in a movie. Bollywood Kitchen pairs delectable Indian meals with some of the best Bollywood movies you can stream online right now. Here to showcase one of the book's colorful and delicious meals, please welcome the author, filmmaker, and lifestyle expert, Sri Rao. It's so good to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me.
What am I smelling? This smells so good.
This is an amazing, simple comfort food called khichdi, which is a combination of rice and lentils, and it's sort of a classic Indian comfort food.
Oh my goodness! And what is the spice I'm smelling?
The spice that you're smelling in there is,
probably.
yeah, there's so many spices, and one of the things that I want people to understand is that Indian food is not complicated. The spices that we're going to be using today, these brilliant different hues and colors that we have over here, you probably all already have in your pantry.
We just don't know to put them in combination, right?
Exactly.
All right, well, let's keep that going, but what are we making today?
So what we're going to be making today is a masala-crusted salmon, and this is a recipe from my book, which I've paired with a Bollywood film in my book, so you can sort of have dinner in a movie.
Which is so great. How do you figure out what inspires you from the movie to figure out what you'd like to put in your meal?
So the movie for this meal is a film called Lagan, which is one of the few Bollywood films ever to be nominated for an Oscar. And it's a story about British colonial India. There you go. There you see it. And so the meal that we're pairing with it is also sort of Anglo-British inspired. It is a salmon dish paired with this rice and lentil side dish called khichdi.
And the colors match.
Exactly, exactly. The colors more than anything else.
I love this idea. So we're going to make this meal. We're going to watch this movie, and masala is one of my favorite things. So how do we do this?
We're going to start off by making a very simple spice rub, and if I can get your help on this, it'll be great. We're just going to toss in all these various spices. First up is paprika. Again, all spices that you probably are familiar with.
Is this regular paprika or smoked?
Regular old paprika. Then we're going to throw in some cumin and coriander, which most people are familiar with.
We've got that.
From Mexican food, but they're also very popular in Indian food.
Oh my goodness.
We're going to throw in a quintessential Indian spice, which is turmeric. This is the spice.
And the R is pronounced.
Yes, the R is pronounced. I pronounce it turmeric, not turmeric.
And it looks just like marigolds.
It's beautiful, and it also has a lot of medicinal qualities in it that people are discovering now. It's an anti-inflammatory, so it's really good for your health. And then, of course, just some salt. And here's the red chili powder, which is Indian red chili. This is, you can substitute cayenne instead.
Okay.
And with this, what I just want to say is that Indian food has a reputation of being too spicy, but it's not. It's not supposed to be spicy. I personally don't even eat spicy food. If you don't like it spicy, just use less cayenne.
Just pull it
back.
a bit.
Just pull it back. Start with a little less. And to counterbalance the heat, we're throwing in some brown sugar and a little bit of lemon zest for some citrus. And then we're just gonna mix this all together.
Got it?
Very simply. Yes, I have that.
And so that makes the rub for the fish.
Yeah, this makes the rub for the fish. And honestly, I keep a bottle of this, a jar of this in my cupboard because
why not?
Not just for the fish, you can also use this on grilled chicken. You can use it on a variety of different meats and vegetables, and it's so simple.
So just make up a batch, put it in the fridge,
you're
good to go.
Exactly. So what we're going to do with this spice blend now is we're just going to pat it onto these beautiful salmon fillets that we have here.
And you just leave them alone? They're dry? You don't put oil or anything on them?
No, I don't put oil or anything on them. And I'm just going to sprinkle maybe about a teaspoon to a teaspoon and a half on each side.
Give them a pat.
Give them a little pat. Super simple. I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to do the other side. And because there are so many different spices in here, you're going to just taste a blend of all of those flavors. You're not going to taste any one thing too strongly. So once we have that nicely patted down, I have a non-stick skillet here. Then I'm just going to drizzle a little bit of oil in.
What kind?
This is, we're using canola oil, but you can use vegetable oil, avocado oil. You can really use anything, any kind of oil that you like.
Something that'll take the high heat, though.
Something that'll take the high heat. And we're just going to get that up to a nice heat there, a nice medium high. And here's the thing that I want to say about Indian food also, is that it's really healthy when you make it at home. The way that I grew up in Pennsylvania with my mom's home-cooked recipes, which all of these are based on, we ate very simple, very healthy food, which is a little different from the Indian food that you find in restaurants.
Well, and sometimes we associate it with complicated sauces and lots of condiments and all that kind of thing, but it's not necessarily like that. It is
not. It's not. So just a little bit of oil. You notice I did not put too much. That's why we're using a nonstick skillet. And I'm just going to drop in.
Pop that baby in there.
Pop in the salmon. And you should get a nice sort of sizzle on it. I'm going to turn up the heat a little bit.
All right, no problem there. We'll
and you
get that
can hear
going.
it starting to sizzle away.
Yes.
Now what we're going to do on top of the salmon, this will go for about 4 minutes on the first side before we flip it.
Just smells great.
It smells amazing, and what we're going to do is we're going to serve it with this mint chutney over here. This brilliant green mint chutney,
that looks
which
so
is
good.
super simple. I made it just in a blender. You don't even cook it. All I did was I threw in a little bit of plain yogurt, some cilantro and some mint, some garlic and ginger, and a little bit of green chili. Just blitz it up in the blender, and then you have this wonderful mint chutney that you can use
on anything.
On anything. You could use it as a dip too.
Taste?
Yeah, please do.
Because it looks so good. And so tell us a little bit about what you did with your asparagus and about what we have here as
about
well.
the rice and a lentil dish too.
Let's
so
take
with
a
this
big
asparagus,
taste of this.
just have a little because I'm not sure how spicy that batch is. Is it good?
I'm good to go on the spice.
Okay, great.
That's delish.
You know, and you can use that for dipping vegetables in also. So speaking of vegetables, we have this brilliant black mustard seed encrusted asparagus. And I want people to be introduced to black mustard seeds.
Okay.
I don't know if you're familiar with these, but they're very similar to...
it just makes noises.
Okay, it makes noises. You have a very fancy stove, unlike the one that I have at home. So these black mustard seeds, you can get them in an Indian grocery store, you can get them online, or you can use brown or yellow mustard seeds, which you can get at your local supermarket. And they provide a brilliant sort of rustic bite to vegetable dishes.
So did you just roll the asparagus
I
in them?
just roll the asparagus and some mustard seeds with a little bit of olive oil, some garlic and ginger powders, and just, we did these on the grill pan, but you could even do them more simply by just throwing them in the oven.
Which is
and they're
great,
done in
and you
15
roasted
minutes.
the lemon as well.
And we roasted the lemon with it.
And the beautiful side dish. I love the way this is all plated. Tell me a bit about your own involvement in the movie industry, which I'm sure is part of this.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm a screenwriter by profession, and I live in New York, and I work a lot here in America, but I always had a dream of creating a Bollywood movie, which are these brilliant musicals that I grew up watching. And so a couple of years ago, I had an opportunity to be one of the first Americans to be working in Bollywood, and so I've written and produced a couple of films, and now I want to share the brilliance of Bollywood musicals with the rest of America.
Well, and food is such a good way to get into that, because it's an entry point that everybody can really enjoy. And when we're talking about lentils, I mean, all the different dals and things like that, we may not be familiar with them, but it's delicious food and full of protein and really good for you.
Right? So lentils are a great way to get protein if you're a vegetarian, or even if you're not vegetarian, like I do Meatless Monday, for example. One day a week I don't eat meat, and lentils are a great way to get protein into your diet when you're not eating meat. And so this dish right here is called khichdi, and it's a very simple blend of rice and lentils that have just sort of been stewed together, boiled together, sort of the way that we make oatmeal in America. They make this in India. It's called khichdi, and babies eat this as one of their first meals, and it's eaten a lot for brunch.
Well, it's one of the sort of the surprising things if you go to India is that the savories are all day long.
Savories are all day long, right? But they're gentle. So for example, with the khichdi, since we do eat it a lot in the morning, we're going to drizzle some of this beautiful melted butter over it.
Oh, dear me.
Yes, right? In India, we call this ghee, which is
goodness.
clarified butter. And so we just put a little bit of that on. And then alongside of it, we're going to, on top of it, so look at the color that we got, the brilliant color that we got on this salmon.
And the spices
and
just
the spices, the sugar mixed with the spices really caramelized and gave us a nice delicate flavor. We're going to plate that right on top.
Right on top.
And then I'm going to grab a couple of these asparagus. You really should, if you like asparagus, you really should try this.
Definitely going to try that. And you could do that with any vegetable,
You could do it with any vegetable. I like to do it with zucchini. You could do it with eggplant also, and it's just as tasty.
It's a great idea. Bollywood Kitchen will open up our lives. We'll have a new horizon in the kitchen. Thank you so very much. We have linked more on Bollywood Kitchen online, including the recipe for this delicious salmon dish. And bonus for the New Day audience, everybody is going home with an autographed copy of the book. You're going to love that. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you so much.
I really appreciate
hope you enjoy it.
Thanks. Still ahead, a quick, easy, and gentle way to whiten your teeth in minutes. We'll be right back.